Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 6 of the TML Formula 3 season here for the Miami International Autodrome circuit, and it's a very new one. It's not a track that I'm very familiar with, to be honest, but we're going to be learning together. It's 5.4 kilometers in length with 19 grueling corners and of course 3 DRS zones, one after the kink of turn 9 all the way down to the yard braking zone of turn 11, and another out of the exit of turn 16 all the way down to the turn 17 hairpin, and the final one down the start finish straight out the final corner of turn 19 all the way down into turn number 1. And we are just about getting ready to go into qualifying here, but before we do, let's bring you up to speed on what happened last time out for the Belgian Grand Prix. It was Honey Badger who took a fantastic win in changeable conditions last time out. He picked up I believe the maximum points. He may have not got the fastest lap, I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but he did pick up the victory with Lucas in second place and Legend coming home in third, rounding out the podium. And what has that done for the stand-ins? Well, I can tell you, it is AC Immortal still leading the way on 104 points, ahead of Lucas in second place on 94. Honey Badger jumps up all the way into third on 91 points. Very close fight between those 3 drivers. And of course we have Honey Badger here tonight, we have Lucas here tonight, but we don't have Immortal here tonight, so we could be seeing a new championship leader by the end of tonight, as we'll go on board with Dark Inferno, as he is going to be the guy leading us out, taking us on the first qualifying lap of the session. But while we wait for him to go round, we'll get back to the standings. In fourth place it is Sven Russ in fourth on 74 points, with Legend in fifth on 72. Then we got Siege in the Red Bull on 71 points in sixth place. Then Jamie in seventh on 61. Dan in eighth on 52 points. Appledorn in ninth on 48 points, and G-Mac rounding out the top 10 on 43 points. Then we got Proudy in 11th on 30. Oh, as I just looked there, Dark Inferno there getting a little bit out of shape. And to be honest, he's not even the first car out on track. We do have the Alpine of Sten Russ, who is going to be the man to get us underway. So we'll get all this out the way, and we'll go on a flying lap. DRS wide open on the run down now in towards turn number 1, making sure to avoid the traffic. Already clips the inside curb, and that is Sven's lap absolutely gone there, and he will have to get out the way, because I believe it is Dark Inferno who's the next car behind him. So we'll go on board with him as he comes through turns 4, 5 and 6, and now into the double left-hander of 7 and 8. DRS will be wide open now as we run through 9 and 10 all the way down in towards turn number 11. Hard braking zone as the traffic is getting out of the way of Dark Inferno as we come through the chicane. Very easy to pick up warnings, get a track invalidation there. Very difficult corner indeed. And the exit out of 16, very good for Dark Inferno as he has gone quickest in the middle sector. Not surprising, to be honest, but DRS wide open all the way now down towards turn 17. See what he is saying here as he takes a very nice line through there, uses all the track possible, and through the final corner. What's this going to be for Dark Inferno? is a 28.6 to get underway. Immediately beaten by last week's race winner Honey Badger on a 27.7. Absolute gauntlet has just been laid down there from Honey Badger. And Yaham, who got into quite a bit of a catastrophe last week, he is trying to fight back this week, and he's doing so by sitting on provisional pole right now. As Dylan now up in provisional pole with a 27.4. As I'm just going to have a little look to the chat and just see what everyone is saying. So we got our regular commentator in Ivan in the chat saying good evening. And we got Charlie saying evening boys, lovely to be back. It is lovely to be back. And by the way, I don't think I said, but I am Ivan Mike, and I'm coming in tonight as a sub to make sure you guys have the stream that you need to see all the action out on tracks. We're on board with Lucas now as he comes to the line. What's this going to be for Lucas? It is a 27.6. We got Jamie in the chat saying 50% chance of rain. Ivan saying possibly wet race around Miami. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, to be honest, I actually don't know, because this, believe it or not, I haven't done many, if at all, any like meaningful laps around this track. So strategy and everything, I'm completely in the blind. Like, you know, this is the first time I'm seeing it. So 14 drivers here. Conti is out of the session as we've gone on board with Matt Tibos, who loses the car there, coming out on the exit of turn 16. And we got predictions in the chat saying Yarham to bottle at some point. Let's hope not. Yarham had a absolutely horrendous time last time out. Let's hope he has a good result this time. Because Black saying wrong stream. I did think he was in the wrong stream, but good luck in your home race, mate. Good luck in your home race. As we love to see who is on a lap, it is Jamie. Roygard is in the session now, so we got 15 drivers in. Hopefully we'll have a few more, as the internet connection is starting to suffer on my end, and that is not what you like to see. Not at all. Which means I have too many devices open to the internet. We must sort this out. DIY with Ivan Mike. This is what you love to see on a Friday evening. Oh, as Jamie there loses it on the exit of turn 16 and into the wall he goes. That corner is catching a lot of people out on traction. And are we going to see the same things happen in the race? Time will tell. As my controller all of a sudden then just stopped working, but we're going to go on board with Yaham, who will be the next man to start a flying lap. So we'll stay on board with him. And in fact, we'll go on for a lovely broadcast view of this while I just make sure I have everything connected to the internet that shouldn't be connected to the internet turned off. So I'll leave you on board with Yaham for the time being. Okay, we are back as Yaham now comes to the line and improves by 2 attempts to put himself on provisional pole with a 27.3. Good lap there from Yaham. He's looking to get back into it after what happened last week. In case you guys didn't know, a little bit of calamities for Yaham last week. As I believe Legend has just popped himself into P3 as we wait to see who'll be the next one. We're going to go on board with Honey Badger, who I think's just about to start his up. Oh, that is not good when you have to have a cough. So we're going to stay on board with Honey Badger as he goes through sweeping right and left of the first sector through turns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and now into turn number 6, keeping it all valid, all hooked up as we go through turn 7 and 8, and he is all valid and it is purple in sector 1. 2 attempts up as we run down now. DRS wide open all the way down towards turn number 11. Got picket braking zones just right here. And Honey Badger, small lock up there, but he keeps it nice and tight and tidy as we go through the complex middle sector here as we go up through the chicane of 14 and 15 now through turn 16. Keeps it all cool, calm and collect. No rear end stepping out on him, and he's 4 tenths up. This is on course now to beat Yaham's time as we run down towards turn number 17. Big old lock up there for Honey Badger, but he's going to make it through. Has he lost any time with that lock up as he comes to the line now? Is this going to be provisional pole? It is, and it is a 27.330 there for Honey Badger, and Yaham has been knocked back into P2 as Charlie's just crossed the line there, jumping up into P5. So we're starting to see a lot of the time start to come down. We got Matt Tibos out on the lap right now, currently down in 11th place. We'll wait to see if he's improving on his middle sector. No, he is well off his middle sector time. I believe Proudy is also on an in lap. Charlie has just crossed the start finish straight, so we'll be on board with Yaham once again, who should be the next person to actually set a lap time, as everyone else I believe is on an in lap. So we'll stay on board with Yaham for the time being. Two drivers out of the session so far. It is of course G-Mac and Conti who are out of the session, and heartbreaking for those two. They're going to be starting in 13th and 14th. Which could be an issue for them. This track, very difficult to overtake, I think, in the first sector. Middle sector is where it starts to open up a bit, better opportunities come through, and the final sector is where I presume we'll see most of the overtakes happen. As we're going to go on board with Yaham for his flying lap. He needs to find around about 0.04 of a second to get his provisional pole position back as we go through turns 1, 2, 3, now into turn 4, sweeping right there for turn 5, and now sweeping left for turn 6. Now into turn 7 and 8, gets a nice exit there. He's marginally down on sector 1 time though, as DRS will be wide open on the run down towards turn number 11 once again. Nicely done through turns 11 and keeping it nice and tight through turn 12 into 13. Nice wide entry there into the chicane as Yahan picked up any time in the middle sector. Yes, he has. He's a 10th up. He is over a 10th up is Yaham as he runs down towards turn 17. Keeping it all together, all composed. And now to the line comes Yaham. This could be provisional pole position. It is provisional pole position and it is a 27.2. The gauntlet has been laid. Dark Inferno on an invalid lap time at the moment. And I believe the next person across the line after Dark Inferno would be it's Jamie, but we'll go on board with Dark Inferno, who should be resetting his lap to go again in just a moment. I'm not sure about that pit entry, but okay. As we'll go on board with it's Jamie then, as he gets his lap underway, and we'll see how he gets on, the man in the Alpha Tauri, as he runs down towards turn number 1. Yaham at the moment on provisional pole with a 27.2. Will anyone topple that time? Just under 2 minutes to go here in qualifying. On board with it's Jamie, currently down in P12, looking to get himself inside the top 10. And he finds a 10.5 in sector 1. That should at the moment put him ahead of Matt Tibos. We need to find more to get ahead of Siege if he wants to break that top 10. As we go through turns 12, 13 and now into the chicane of 14 and 15. Turn 16. Traction is all sorted and he's 3 tenths up. Now this is more like it from Jamie to get himself into the top 10. Of course, Matt Tibos and Siege on their outlaps, they will be able to respond to this, but can Jamie get himself into that top 10? To the line, and he does. He goes up in the P9 ahead of Stern as well, who's also on a lap currently, and I believe the next man to cross the line is going to be Siege, but he is just starting his lap. So who have we got on a flyer right now? I believe Stern is the first person on a flyer, and he's 4 tenths up. This is on course to match Lucas. So Siege has crashed out, and that is his qualifying over and done with. He will start outside the top 10. That is a guarantee now, as the checker flags are out. Then to the line, goes up into P4 with a 27.5. A brilliant final lap there from Stern Ross. As I'm going to go on board with Honey Badger, because he's coming to the end of the middle sector and he's marginally down on his time. He needs a massive final sector here. We saw him lock up massively into turn 17. If he can get a little bit smoother this time around, he might be able to snag that pole position, but he once again has a big old lock up. But it was much cleaner than the previous lap. So to the line comes Honey Badger, and he doesn't improve. What about Powdy? Powdy doesn't improve. Legend now. I believe we got Charlie coming to the line. No, he's peeled off into the pits. Legend is the only man, along with Matt Tibos in behind, who can improve on their lap times. Legend to the line, currently in P5. Can he go further up the order? No, he can't. What about Matt Tibos? No, and that is the end of qualifying. It is Yaham that takes pole position here in the McLaren. So we had Tam in the chat saying Yaham to bottle at some point. He hasn't bottled in qualifying. It is pole position for Yaham. And we will run you through the order. It is Yaham on pole position ahead of Honey Badger by just under a tenth of a second there, separating the two on the front row. Then we got Dylan and Stern rounding off the second row. Legend in fifth, Charlie in sixth, Lucas in seventh, Dark Inferno in eighth, Real Powdy in ninth, and it's Jamie rounding out the top 10. And outside of the top 10 we have Siege in 11th, Matt Tibos in 12th, G-Mac in 13th, Condi in 14th, and Roygard will be starting from the back in 15th place. So 15 drivers to go to those 5 red lights to get us underway, to get us going here in Miami. And who is going to come out on top? Who is going to take the victory here tonight? Let me know your predictions in the chat, guys. Who is going to come out on top here? Who's going to be on the podium, and who's going to be the biggest surprise? Who do you reckon is going to be the big surprise here tonight? Let me know. As we load now into the race itself, and the rain is falling down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking like we're going to have intermediate tyres to start this race, and this could get a little bit spicy. It could get a little bit cheeky up here. With the weather conditions playing a factor, who put on a wet setup in qualifying? That's going to be the big question now. Who has chosen their setup for rain? As we should have intermediate tyres on all the cars. The green wall tyres should be on as we got those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway for 29 laps of Miami, and everyone is on the intermediate tyres as we got Honey Badger again. A poor start against Dylan. Side by side action between Stern and Charlie in behind. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Stern and Dylan. They all keep it clean though, as Honey Badger managed to get himself back into second place. We've got more side-by-side action in behind between Legend and Dark Inferno, and these guys are absolutely going for it here on lap 1. As Dark Inferno, he's trying to move on Legend but unable to do so. And Powdy is in behind now as Jamie gets a good start and he's up into P8, but he's going to get absolutely swamped on the straight. He doesn't have a good setup for a straight line speed from the looks of it, as Matt Tibos having a little peek down the inside, but Jamie's going to try and hang it around the outside of Powdy here, and he is going to be able to hang it around. Meanwhile, up towards the front we got Yaham and Honey Badger duking it out for the race lead, so we'll stay on board with this for the time being. Can Honey Badger launch an attack early on Yaham? As I need to have a drink because my throat is dry. As in behind we got Powdy trying around the outside of Jamie. Not being able to get the move done there, as Matibos here. Big snap, and the same for Dark Inferno as well. And Dark Inferno losing a lot of positions here. As he drops down behind Lucas. Lucas having a pretty poor start as well, as we got Charlie and Stern side by side, but Charlie backs off there. Dark Inferno again through. Oh my god, Roy got absolutely sending one there on Siege. Down the inside, gets the job done. Meanwhile, Conti and Lucas side by side in behind. The wet conditions really playing havoc with these drivers at the moment. A lot of position changes, difficult to keep up. But at the moment it is Yaham still leading ahead of Honey Badger. And they pulled out a bit of a gap now to Dylan in behind. But Dylan's... Oh no, Honey Badger there clips the inside wall. And he is around. Dylan getting a 3-second time penalty there. I think Dylan was taking the avoiding action of Honey Badger in case he was still solid. But Honey Badger now all the way down into 10th. And Yaham now gifted a 1.7 second gap, but the guy behind him has a 3-second time penalty now. As we're about to start lap number 3 of 29, it is Yaham leading the way. He's pulling clear of these guys. Honey Badger definitely had the pace to keep with him, but Honey Badger with that big mistake. And he has dropped well down the order. Oh, it's Matibos there, losing the car and into the wall he goes. And that's got to be big wing damage here for the Red Bull. Yep, that is no front wing on that Red Bull at all. These conditions are causing issues for these drivers. As we got Lucas here trying to navigate his way through, and he's able to do so with minimal issue. Meanwhile, the Alpha Tauris look like they could be doing battle anytime soon, as Legend and Jamie in close proximity to each other. Meanwhile, up ahead we've also got the Alpines getting a little bit close to each other there, with Sten on the back of Dylan for P2. Will we see the Alpines having a bit of a switch around here? Dylan is on his ERS, but so is Stern. And here comes the slipstream, here comes the toe. Moves to the inside, and he should have this relatively easily done. But Dylan's going to try and outbrake, try and hang it around the outside. Can he get the traction on the outside? He's able to get good traction to keep the fight going, but he has to yield to his teammate there. As Charlie now with the new fastest lap, and he's in right behind the two Alpines here. As we move on to lap number 4. Very nice turn 1 there from Charlie. He's going to put Dylan right under pressure here as we go through the lefts and rights of sector 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and through turn 6 now. Turn 7 and 8, unable to stay with the Alpines there, as oh my god, Powdy there, oh Jesus, Powdy almost losing the car and going straight into Jamie there. Jamie very lucky to be able to get away with that one scot-free, but Jamie did lose a spot to Powdy at some point. Meanwhile, we got Honey Badger making a move on Powdy now down the inside. The Ferrari gets the job done. Can Powdy try and hang it around the outside? No, he cannot. Honey Badger now on the back of Dark Inferno and Jamie. He's going to try and see if he can get his way through this bit of traffic as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, a little bit further up, Charlie closing in on Dylan, but not close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, Dark Inferno and Jamie trading positions there. As Honey Badger there, big old lockup as Yaham retakes that fastest lap. Meanwhile, Charlie gets through on Dylan, and Dylan falling backwards here in the early phases. Meanwhile, Honey Badger, after that mistake early on, He's managed to get himself back into P8, but he does have 2 cars in front of him, giving him a little bit of dirt here as we go through sector 1. And he needs to pick his opportunity wisely here, especially in these conditions, as Jamie there gets a bit of a squirrely exit, but he's going to use his ERS to try and launch an attack on Dark Inferno, but he doesn't have any. But look at the speed of Honey Badger there, cruising past Jamie. And into P7 goes Honey Badger, and that red light, obviously because it is raining, normally we would see the red light indicate that there's no ERS yet. And now can Honey Badger launch an attack on Dark Inferno. Jamie with no ERS to his name is going to be a sitting duck pretty soon for the likes of Powdy, and in fact Powdy could have a go at him right here. He's going to go cruising past, and Jamie there braking late, going deep, and a little bit too deep, because here comes Powdy on the switchback and he gets the move done. And Powdy now up in the P8 and Jamie's into the pit lane. Is this for a front wing change? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Is it a new front wing for the AlphaTauri? No, it is not. It's just fresh intermediates going on there. Well, we got Lucas now on the back of Powdy for P8. Yellow flag, and I think that is for Matt Tibos, who is around. Yeah, he is. Matt Tibos not having the best of times out there at the moment at Miami. We have Honey Badger now on the back of Dark Inferno, who is closing on Legend. As Dark Inferno does have a time penalty to his name. Meanwhile, up ahead, Charlie on Stern. Is he going to be able to get this move done into turn 1? You'd like to think so. Meanwhile, Yaham, he's gone. He's in the distance. 3.3 seconds clear. So I believe Charlie might just have the pace on both of the Alpines right now, as Dylan has dropped back drastically from these two. And Legend will soon be coming under pressure from Dark Inferno and Honey Badger. And then behind them we got Powdy trying to hold off the likes of Lucas and Roygard in P9 and P10 respectfully. G-Mac on the back of Conti, but oh my god, the absolute understeer and sliding there from the Aston Martin. That is not what you'd like to see. As we have more yellow flags, and I think that is Jamie that's gone slightly off there. As the rain appears to be slowing. Therefore, I believe we could get a change onto dry compound tyres within the next 3 to 4 laps. I would say around lap 11, lap 12, possibly for a tyre change, as the rain is almost non-existent right now. Meanwhile, up ahead we got Charlie still just lurking in behind of Sven, trying to make sure he's there to capitalise on any mistake, as G-Mac is out. Is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. Full course safety car here on lap 7. No, sorry, lap 8. full course safety car here on lap 8 of 29. GMAC is out of this race, losing the car in the final corner. So everyone now will bunch back up, but the question is, under the safety car conditions, will the track dry? That is the question. As you can see, the rain is hardly falling at all in Sector 3. If I was any of these guys in the car right now, I would be furiously checking the tyre temperatures. As Yaham's going to come into the, going to continue on, steering into the pits. Think it could be a little bit early, but Dylan follows him in, going to double stack with his teammate. Matt Tibos for the 3 second as Dark Inferno carries on. Honey Badger's in as well. Is this going to be a master class strategy here from these guys coming into the pits? Hard tyres there for Sven. And Honey Badger's put on fresh intermediates. I don't think that's what he wanted to do. I don't think he changed his tyres. And that is a big oof there for Honey Badger. So let's go on board with Sven and see Sven and see how he's handling these conditions at the moment on those dry tyres. It does seem a little bit slippery out there for these tyres, but definitely by the time the safety car comes in, it will be dry compound tyres. I can assure you of that. So I believe we should be seeing the top 4 peel off into the pits on this lap. Should see Honey Badger back in to put on a dry set of tyres. Good news for Honey Badger is the fact that even though he has on a set of intermediates, I believe he'll probably, yeah, he's only going to fall down to 11th place, because as you can see, Jamie there literally ripping his nose off in the wall. So he definitely has damage, so he'll be back in. As we have the intermediate runners of Yaham and Dark Inferno into the pits. And this is heartbreaking for Yaham because he stayed out, and because of it he's lost the race lead. As Honey Badger stayed out in the Indus. Do these guys know something that I don't? Is it going to rain again? Is it going to rain again? That's the question, because if I was Honey Badger, I would have come in and put on drives right there. Because you lose track position, but you won't lose a huge amount of time. Whereas if he doesn't pit under the safety car, he'll lose a pit stop right there and then. Dylan there almost losing the car through the chicane, and that's what these guys on these dry tyres is going to be an issue for him. It's making sure that these tyres do not give out on him in these early laps from the track. Is still a little bit slippery. As we got a fan saying Dylan is washed. He is washed 100%. It has been absolutely chucking it down here in the opening couple of laps, but the rain has stopped, so now he's not so much washed but more dry, I'd say. As Honey Badger and Conti into the pits, rightfully so, and chucking on a set of the medium compound tyres. So maybe that was a strategy, extend it a little bit longer to put on a set of the mediums, give him a better chance. Matt Tibos has stayed out on those intermediate tyres, as has Charlie and Legend. I believe the safety car will be in at the end of this lap, so it'll be interesting to see how the Inders match up with the dry tyres. Obviously, I think it is a little bit on like a crossover period right now, but the dry tyres surely will grip up and be equally as quick as the Inders. Even in these conditions, they're only going to get better. Meanwhile, Jamie and Siege, they need to get a move on if they want to catch up to the back of the pack before the safety car comes in, because right now they're in a bit of no man's land on their own. Jamie potentially could catch him back up, but it's a big ask. Safety car is in this lap, so Charlie will control the pace as he backs everyone up. I don't even think Jamie's going to catch up to the pack. Now let's see, when does Charlie go? And he's gone. Yep, Charlie has gone. Legend hasn't been fooled by him though. He has stuck to the back of him. And now we're going to see if the intermediates are the better tyre right now. We're going to say so, as Dylan there around the outside of Powdy. What a move there from Dylan. And now we got Dark Inferno potentially having a little peek as well. There's not much between the Inters, but look at this now. Stern is right on the back of Legend, as I believe now the dry tyres are the better tyres, but Legend has some pretty good straight line speed here. Meanwhile, Dark Inferno having a look on Roy God. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, is that going to cause Roy God to go into Powdy? No. How did that not end in a big absolute calamity there? That's the real question, but somehow they've managed to get away with it. Roy God and Dark Inferno making contact, but both of them getting away with it. Unharmed, let's say. Meanwhile, Legend and Charlie are doing a good job at the front at the moment. They are getting away from these hard runners. Meanwhile, Honey Badger and Lucas is side by side is the medium tyres, and Charlie they were in a new fastest lap. So showing that those intermediates still have a bit of pace on them, but Honey Badger getting through on Lucas for P9. And next up is Dark Inferno. Meanwhile, up ahead we got Roy God and Powdy there side by side, and Jamie now in a new fastest lap. As we got another full course safety car, and I'm not sure who that is for. Did Charlie go off? I think Charlie might have gone off because he was behind he was ahead of Stern not too long ago. Yeah, Charlie must have had a moment and has caused a full course safety car. This has absolutely saved both Legend and Charlie here, and of course Matt Tibos, because they will now be able to pit, get off those tyres, get onto a set of dry tyres. And with that, they'll lose track position, but they won't lose the time that they would have lost. So Charlie, the man who was leading, now down in third, should be in the pits at the end of this lap, as should Legend. It is dry tyres. I think we were looking at a bit of a crossover, and with that, Legend is in, so is Charlie. As we got Ivan saying, what did you miss? Well, I'll tell you what you missed. 2 safety cars, changeable conditions, and a honey badger going around at the chicane. He turned in too early, clipped the wall and went spinning around. And as I believe I just had a little bit of a lag moment in game, so I believe the stream also may have lagged as well. We've got Dark Inferno and Powdy there swapping positions, and they want to be careful of that, because you can get legal overtake warnings and everything, and that is not what you like to see. As we got Jamie saying he's having a bad race. I mean, you had a bad first 10 laps, but safety cars have brought you back in. And the thing is that as long as you're still going, you're still on track, you have a chance of doing something. Safety cars will be a factor. Penalties will be a factor. If you keep it on track, penalty free, pointing in the right direction, you could be on for a good result here. That is the key thing to remember, Jamie. It's not about the first 5-10 laps, it's about the race as a whole. You could be having a bad first 10 laps, but then the whole thing turns around. So keep plugging along. As Ivan's saying, sounds like a typical F3 race this season. I mean, the only F3 race I've been privileged enough to see was last week in Belgium, and that was a fantastic race to see. As we got Charlie saying he's lost the rear out of turn 3 and crashed. That is unfortunate, Charlie, but the good thing is that you are still in the race, and you do have fresh mediums who should be solid in terms of getting to the end and able to climb up a few positions if you pick your opportunities right. Lap 15 of 29, we are under the safety car, and it should be in at the end of this lap to start lap 16, so we should be racing once again. Yaham has looked very quick here. But Stern holds the race lead. The clouds are still out. Safety car is in this lap, so Stern Ross will be the pace setter now as we get ourselves prepared to go racing once again under green flag conditions, and we wait to see what Yaham can do. Remember, they got Roygaard in behind on those medium tyres, and his tyres, even though they're 6 lap worn, they aren't really worn like that, as he's had plenty of laps on the safety car. And Stern there An absolutely fantastic restart as managed to catch Yaham napping. Meanwhile, Dylan is on the inside, free wide into turn 1 as Roy got there down the inside, gets the move done on Dylan as we got Jamie dropping down the order as Charlie and Legend able to get through. Meanwhile, Roy Gard now side by side with Yaham as they go through turns 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Yaham has to concede that position. Roy Gard now up into P2. But look at what that battling has done. 1.7 seconds, the gap now between first and second. Meanwhile, we got Honey Badger here on the back of Dark Inferno. Gonna look down the inside. Oh, that's a big late braking maneuver down the inside of Dark Inferno, and he gets it done. Meanwhile, Dark Inferno does have his nose still there. He's halfway alongside, but yields that position. Honey Badger there. A Daniel Ricciardo-esque dive into turn 11, and they paid out for him, and now he's on the back of Powdy. Meanwhile, Charlie and Jamie in behind are having a bit of a scrap there for P11. We're going to stay on board with these guys at the moment. Oh, as I believe that was maybe a little bit of a touch there. Oh, contact there with Lucas and Honey Badger. As Honey Badger there, yeah, he's lapped back through by Dark Inferno, so I think Dark Inferno clipped the back end of Honey Badger, and then the little bit of contact we saw with Honey Badger and Lucas there happened, but Honey Badger won't be happy about that, not one bit. But he does have a bit of breathing space now to try and pull away from Dark Inferno and get on to Powdy. Meanwhile, towards the back, I believe Matt Tibos there dropping down the order. Big old scrap here as Conti gets a bad exit. Siege is going to breeze past the Ferrari, and in fact they're still going to be side by side actually as we come down towards turn number 11. They are closed in on the car ahead, and it is Jamie. Siege now having looked down the inside but doesn't commit to it fully. Lucas getting through on Dark Inferno for P7. All the action is kicking off now, and it's difficult to keep up. As Charlie and Legend now trying to get onto the back of this train. Meanwhile, Yaham has managed to close that gap back down to Stern Ross. He is just outside that 1 second. Now he's just creeped in. And we wait for the moment where DRS is enabled, and it is enabled this lap, and that is not what Stern wants to see, as Honey Badger with the new fastest lap of the race, showing his pace here as he is now all over the back of Powdy and Dylan. So we'll stay on board with this for the time being, as I believe Honey Badger may have the best opportunity to get an overtake done here with DRS, as he has the good straight line speed. He has the slipstream, he has the DRS, he has the top end speed, and he has the position. And Honey Badger now up into P5, now going to go after Dylan. As we got Yaham on the back of Stern Ross here, and this should be a potential move now into turn 17. As Dark Inferno is around and he's dropping down the order, but we're going to stay on board, and that's a virtual safety car now. Virtual safety car is out as the race has been neutralised there, and at the perfect time for Sven, as Conti gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. and that is not what he wants down in P13. And he's chucking on a set of the soft compound tyres. As we wait for the green flag racing once again. Longer the virtual safety car stays out, the better it is for Stern, because Yaham hasn't been able to use DRS to get past him yet. But we are racing once again, green flag conditions, and now Yaham has an opportunity to take back the race lead. This should be a relatively easy overtake now with DRS. Gets it done. Sten tries to do something, maybe go for a switchback. Does get the switchback. He is on the inside there of Yaham. Just about avoid contact, but now Stern with the DRS. He's going to go to the outside of turn 1. Late braking manoeuvre as Yaham there covers the inside, covers the position. Oh, contact there! And Roygaard now into the lead, and Stern and Honey Badger there coming together. Stern and Yaham coming together, and just like last week, Yaham in a good position, and unfortunately contact has once again plagued the man in the McLaren. Now Stern trying to have a little look on Honey Badger down into turn 11 on the inside, but Honey Badger will have the inside for turn 12 and will keep that position. And Honey Badger has done enough to get within DRS of Dylan, which is crucial for him. Absolute heartbreaking though for Yaham once again for the second week in a row, as Matt Tibos here cruises past Jamie, and Siege is right there behind the AlphaTauri as well. Oh my god, and that is Charlie out of the race in what can only be described as the most unfortunate DNF I have seen in such a long time. Powdy loses the car directly in front of Charlie. Charlie literally just clips the wall. I have no words for that DNF. How does that rip off the tyre? I do not know. A bit of front wing damage? Yes, 100%. But the wheel? Surely not. Yeah, I know, Charlie. I was on board with you. As we got Charlie in the chat saying he tapped the wall, and I was on board, I saw it, and I have no words. But safety car is out on lap 21. Will we see any of these guys towards the front end come in and chuck on the set of the Red Bull compound tyres? Stern is in. Yaham's in. Yep, it is the Miami GP. And we are here on lap 22 of 29. It is Dylan leading the way ahead of Roygard in second. Honey Badger in third with Lucas in fourth. Legend in fifth. Siege in sixth. And then we got what should be a very interesting dynamic here, because we're going to have a lot of soft runners trying to carve their way through these guys ahead as quickly as possible to try and get the race win here before their tyres fall off. So we got Stern in 7th, Matt Tibos in 8th, Jamie in 9th, Yarham in 10th, Powdy in 11th, Dark Inferno in 12th, and we got Conti in 13th. Charlie, unfortunately, DNF in the most ridiculous fashion I've ever seen. In terms of our commentary, I mean, I've had similar things happen in terms of league racing, but I've never seen it in terms of commentary before, and that was a pathetic DNF, an absolutely pathetic DNF there for the contact model. And obviously G-Mark, who unfortunately crashed out during the intermediate conditions when the weather was very treacherous at the start of the race. But lap 22, we are under safety car conditions now, so the race has been neutralized somewhat, and we wait to see whether it'll be this lap or the next lap. We will go back to green flag racing once again as Siege, realizing the trouble he's in, comes in, and he is going to put on a set of mediums, but he's going to get a front wing change as well, so good going from him. As Charlie saying he probably just lost a P3, 4 or 5 in this race. I mean, oh, it's Honey Badger. Honey Badger is around, and that is big wing damage there. Wow. As we just went through and we saw a spinning Ferrari, I thought Sebastian Vettel was back on track in the Scuderia again. I'm not going to lie, guys. But it wasn't Sebastian Vettel, it was Honey Badger going around for a second time in this race. And he is going to need a front wing change. But if Conti catches up to the pack, which he should pretty much do, Honey Badger is not going to be able to get a free pit stop. I wonder if we're going to see Ferrari team orders here. Will Conti purposely not catch up? That's the question. He is going half throttle on the straight. He shouldn't have any time deltas to adhere to. Are we seeing Ferrari strategy going on? Strategic messaging. Are we hearing Fernando is faster than you? Is that what we're hearing right now? I don't know, but Conti hasn't caught up to the back of the pack, so Honey Badger will get his free pit stop under the safety car conditions. And Jamie comes in as well. As now the only people not on the red wall tyres are the top three with Dylan, Roygard and Legend. Dylan has a penalty. Roygard and Legend do not. Legend has 5 lap fresher tyres and he's on the medium tyres as well. So he has the tyre advantage on Dylan, but he also has the tyre wear advantage on Roygard as well. But in behind him, he does have the rest of the grid on Red Bull fresh soft tyres, and this could get a little bit spicy. as we should have 5 laps of green flag racing to go. Who is going to come out on top here? Safety car is in this lap. Let me know your predictions in the chat. Who's going to walk out victorious here in Miami? We'll go on board with Roygard. Let's see how good the restart is versus Dylan. And it is a very good restart there from Roygard. And they've caught Legend absolutely napping there at the back. Yaham gets through on Jamie. And Yaham all of a sudden can sniff a podium here. As Stern down the inside of Legend, and he gets the move done there. Stern Ross into P3, and now he's going to hunt down Roygard. And he's going to send it down the inside. Little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there as Roygard goes off and Legend sneaks through. So Stern there with a big lunge, and it doesn't pay off as Legend on the inside gets the move done, but runs deep on exit, and that's going to open things up for Roygard to come back at him here. But now the double toe, Matt Tibos is out of the race. So there we go, Ivan. You have commentator cursed there as we got a virtual safety car there being deployed, and Matt Tibos, you have been commentator cursed by Ivan, who is your normal commentator in the chat. He's not even here to do it in person. He's commentator cursed you. Me personally, I wouldn't have it. As we are back racing once again, and Yaham now on the back of Sten. Are we going to see the McLaren make a move on the Alpine to be the lead soft runner? And Yaham's had great pace here so far today, so I would back Yaham to maybe try and find his way through. But let's see, as he's using his ERS, but so is Sten. As we got Powdy and Jamie swapping places a little bit further back. Dylan is doing a good job at the moment. He's got a 2-second lead, 2.3 second lead over Legend after these guys were battling a little bit. But look at Stern absolutely pushing Roygard through the corners there. And now we should see a overtake here from Stern Ross, and he's going to get through and up into P3. As Yaham there lunges it down the inside, and is he going to get the move done as well? No, he's not. He's going to get caught on the curb, and he is not going to be able to get that move done. But now with DRS activated, and Powdy there setting a new fast lap, followed immediately by Lucas setting a new fast lap. Meanwhile, we got Dark Inferno and Jamie there going side by side into turn 1. Jamie there able to hold off as we are on lap 27 of 29. Just 3 laps to go. Yaham on the back of Roygard, and I think that's Jamie. Jamie and Dark Inferno around. They've made contact, surely, for them to be going around. Honey Badger there going off track slightly, but gets a good exit, and he could maybe launch an attack here on Siege. But we're going up towards this battle for P4 as Yaham gets through on Roygard. So it is not over now for Yaham. He can still get a podium out of this. Honey Badger gets through on Siege. Up in the P8 goes a Ferrari. and it's all action now for the final 3 laps. Dylan almost has the 3-second gap that he needs on Legend. Stern will close in drastically as Powdy gets through on Roygaard, and that's an easy overtake when you have soft tyres plus DRS. And now what Dylan needs for these final 2 laps, he needs Legend to put up a big fight to try and take away this race win. But Legend, he needs to fight, he needs to keep these soft runners behind him. But I don't think he's going to keep strength behind him much longer, as he is right underneath that rear wing, and he is going to straight line speed it. DRS wide open, and he has got P2. Meanwhile, we got Yaham in behind. Honey Badger making his way through. This could be a double overtake now for Honey Badger, but he's not going to send it on Lucas. Smart move there from Honey Badger. And now Yaham on the back of Legend. Now this is going to be difficult for Dylan to keep a hold of this race win now with that 3-second time penalty, but now DRS is going to go to Legend and Yaham. Can either of these two close up enough on Stern to make an overtake? No, they do not. But Yaham right underneath that gearbox of the Alpha Tauri gets a little bit of a squirrely exit though, as just gives Legend a little bit of breathing room. Right now Dylan looks like he's not even going to be on the podium, as these guys are on the teetering edge of all being within the 3-second window. As Honey Badger gets through on Powdy once again, and he's now up into P6. Yaham should now be able to make the overtake on Legend. I've got a yellow flag in the back now. It's Dark Inferno who's gone around, and Yaham now to the outside on Legend. Is he going to be able to get it done? Legend's going to fight it, try and keep his nose in down the inside, but unable to do anything about it. As we got a yellow flag, and I think that is it. Jamie who has gone around, and now the final DRS straight here. Is it going to be an Alpine 1-2? There is no DRS for Yaham, and that is crucial because here comes Legend now. He's going to go to the outside for the final braking zone. Oh, and he can't get the job done. And it is going to be Dylan to cross the line in first, but he's going to lose that to his teammate, but he's going to keep second place as Yaham comes home in third, Legend in fourth, Lucas in fifth with the fastest lap, Honey Badger in sixth, Siege in seventh, Roygaard in eighth, Powdy in ninth, Conti in 10th, Dark Inferno will cross the line in 11th, and Jamie will be the last remaining driver to go ahead and cross the line. As he scrapes the wall there. I don't want to speak too soon, Jamie. You still have a couple of corners to go. As Jamie will now cross the line and he will finish the race. And what a race we have just seen, guys. A absolute nail biter all the way to the end. Not sure on who was going to take the victory, who was going to take the podium, but it is an Alpine 1-2, and that does wonders for them in the constructors. They were down in 5th place on 91 points, but they're going to jump up quite considerably now as it is Stern who does take victory ahead of Dylan, and we'll run you through the order one more time. It is Stern Ross who takes victory here in Miami ahead of Dylan in second place, an Alpine double podium and an Alpine 1-2, with Yaham rounding out the podium in third place. And we got Legend in fourth, Lucas in fifth with the fastest lap and taking the championship lead, I believe, if my math is correct. He does take the championship lead with that result. Honey Badger in sixth, Siege in seventh, Roygard in eighth, Powdy in ninth, and Conti rounding out the top 10. Then our two finishers outside the top 10 were Dark Inferno and It's Jamie. Then our non-finishers, who unfortunately DNF'd, Matt Tibos, who got commentator cursed by Ivan, Charlie, who had the most pathetic crash I've ever seen in my life. Like, that tyre should not have come off his car, and G-Mac, who crashed out early on in the race due to the conditions being a little bit tricky in the final corner for the Aston Martin. And that is going to bring an end to round number 6. Of course, we had Formula 4 going on at the same time, so make sure you guys go over and show the Formula 4 guys some love as well. But that is going to bring an end to round number 6 and to the stream. I have been Ivan Mike. Hopefully next week you will be back with your regular commentator in Ivan Tonsek, and he'll be taking you through the action of what I believe was the next round. If I could just have a little peek at Discord and see what the next round is. And I believe the next round is Japan, but I just want to double check. Yep, next week we do travel to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. So we shall see you next week for round number 7 at Suzuka. But until then, guys, I have been Ivan Mike, filling in for Ivan Tonsek, and he shall catch you next week, and I shall catch you the next time I catch you. And until then, guys, have a great evening. Good night.